Welcome to How to Thought Leadership with your host, Julie Morris. Now sit back and relax. Let's grow your influence so you can serve at scale.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to talk with you today. So I have had a really long career in the fashion industry, and you're correct. I've worked for some absolute dream companies. I spent 11 years at Ralph Lauren. I worked at Tommy Hilfiger, at Nautica, and Taylor, some very well-known big American fashion brands. And the fashion industry is not all glitz and glamour, but it is a lot of fun. And then after the pandemic, or actually in the middle of the pandemic, I decided to start my own consulting company where I consult with, I'd say my sweet spot right now is startup and growth stage brands that need help with product development and production. So still doing what I love, just doing it solopreneur, which was a big shift for me, but a lot of fun.
I love that. And I think the freedom of that. Nowadays, I keep hearing about this thing called the portfolio career from different friends, clients, networks, and it does give us a lot of flexibility, freedom to follow dreams when we've been so busy and our head down for so many years, pushing, working, building, that when we actually get to pick our head up and think about, what do I want? What could a new life allow me to do? Are you following any passions right now? Any other side things that you're developing? Anything like that?
Yeah. And I love that portfolio career. When I first heard it, I was blown away. It's because we live longer now. Do we really just want to retire and do nothing just when we reach a certain age? I want to be working or doing something interesting until the day that I'm no longer here, because that's just what makes life interesting. I am doing a bunch of different things in addition to my main consulting. So I'm very passionate about women's empowerment and girls' empowerment, especially. And so one of my passion projects is working with a small grassroots charity called Her Move Next, which empowers girls and young women through chess. So always happy to talk about that. I am doing a passion project and launching a digital portraiture service with a really good friend of mine who was one of my design partners at Ralph Lauren. And she is so talented, and I felt like I wanted that work to be seen by the world. And it celebrates really happy occasions. Our brand is Belle and Clover. And our tagline is celebrating the beauty of life and love. And that, to me, was just everything. There's so much negativity in the world right now. And we want to celebrate happy things. Marriages, weddings, engagements, babies, the good parts of life.
Everything you've seen in the fashion world. I'm sure that there are some things that you maybe love and maybe don't love as much. And I'm guessing that one of them has to do with the magic of fashion and how incredible fashion can be. And I know that when I talk about fashion around thought leadership, it usually is in reference to connected with personal brands. And I've said, oh, what is personal brand? Let's not make it so complex. What do you look like on your best day? What's that outfit? What's that shirt? What's that thing that you're wearing that just delights you and makes you feel so good? What does the magic of fashion do for you?
So you are speaking my language. I think fashion has transformative power. What you wear can completely change how you feel, look, act. And maybe it sounds silly, but it's 100% true. I can tell you from a personal level, it's true. I'm speaking to a lot of other women, it's true. I think it's true for men as well. I will admit, I tend to talk about it more with women. But we've all had that day where we have just hated what we're wearing, and it made us feel bad. If I am not happy with how I'm dressed that day, I will behave differently than if I feel really passionate about what I'm wearing. Look, makes me feel. Every woman that I know has that power outfit, something that if they know they have a big meeting, they have a presentation they have to do, they're going to pull that same thing, whatever it is. And it could look different for different people, right? It's not necessarily a power suit anymore. Maybe it is, but maybe it's a beautiful dress that really makes you feel empowered. Maybe so my sort of go-to outfit is a pair of jeans that fit me really well, a white t-shirt that's been bleached within an inch of its life, so it's really white, and a blazer. And I will change up the blazer. Sometimes it's traditional navy blazer, sometimes it's a herringbone blazer, sometimes it's a black blazer, but that's my look. And I have really what's funny is I have a pair of boots that are like my power boots. I'm going to be devastated when they fall apart, but I walk differently in them. I feel differently in them. And most women will tell you the same thing. And as far as personal branding, right? What is a more iconic example of personal branding through clothes than Steve Jobs?
Yes.
He always wore the black turtleneck. That was his brand.
Is that okay? Because I do that, Melissa. I'm wearing something really comfortable for our discussion today, but as soon as it's done, I'm going to do a client meeting and I have to put on the black turtleneck. I have the perfect one from Polo, Ralph Lauren.
They're
of course.
appropriate.
And it's soft as butter and it fits wonderfully. It really has that same effect. Well, isn't it cliche that it's the black turtleneck because like Steve Jobs? But to help me understand, is this okay, Melissa?
Yes, it is more than okay. It makes you feel good. Whatever you feel best in is more than okay. It's perfect. And maybe it's very minimalist. For some people, it's super minimalist. And for some people, it's the absolute opposite. I have friends that the more glitter and the more sequins and the more bells and whistles it has, the better they feel. And that's really what it is. What works for you? What makes you feel like Superwoman?
It definitely works. Yeah, I just have to let go of the fact that it's maybe in a perfect world, I found some bright, like mustard yellow blouse or something, and that's the thing. But it's just not my thing right now. It's the black turtleneck. Okay, so thank you for the validation there. It really does have that transformative effect when I put it on. And so I think the takeaway here, if you are wanting to be in thought leadership, we're going to talk about imposter syndrome in a second and how none of us ever feel ready to go on LinkedIn, to put ourselves out there. But if you look great, not you look young, not your hair has no roots, but just you feel great in what you're wearing, then you're ready. Go get the picture, put it on LinkedIn. Let's talk. Yeah, I was either love your reaction or let's talk LinkedIn.
My quick reaction is 100%. Fashion is empowering. It really is. And when you are happy in what you're wearing, you feel like a different person.
Yes.
And by the way, your black turtleneck, you can just switch up your jewelry. That makes it look completely different.
Idea. See, experts. Just get your experts, friends. Okay. LinkedIn is delightful. LinkedIn is a happy place for us. Why is it LinkedIn a happy place for you, Melissa?
I love LinkedIn. So you posted recently about how much fun LinkedIn was. And I was like, oh my God, yes, you're my soul sister. So I hate social media. I don't use Twitter. Twitter is like toxic hell. And that's pre-Elon. This has nothing to do with Elon Musk. Twitter was toxic before him, after him, will probably always be toxic in my opinion.
Yeah.
Instagram is fine. It's pretty, but it's very fake in a lot of ways. And I don't really use it a lot. I use LinkedIn every day. And I wasn't always that way. I've had a LinkedIn profile for a really long time. There is a way to find out what year you joined. I don't remember how to do it anymore, but I did it at one point. And I remember thinking, wait, I've been on LinkedIn for that long, but I did nothing with it. I didn't have a profile picture. I did not make posts. I don't even think I commented on people's posts. If somebody made a connection request, I probably accepted it if I knew them. And I'm almost positive I would have known them because nobody who didn't know me would have any reason to ask to connect with me because I didn't do anything. And then I started to slowly use it more and made some recommendations for people, or they made some for me and made more connection. But it was really post-COVID or during COVID, again, during the pandemic, that I really started to leverage what it can do for people. And I really give a lot of credit to Chief. They had some sessions, member-led sessions, as to the power of LinkedIn. And it really opened my eyes. And to me, LinkedIn is really a community. I have people on LinkedIn that I truly consider my friends. And some of them I've met in real life, and some of them I haven't. And some of them I will, and some of them live really far away, and I probably won't. But these are people that we actually care about one another. We will check in with one another if hey, I haven't seen you post in a week. Is everything okay? Can I help with anything? And it's business related, a lot of it, not 100%. And I think that's okay. Every once in a while, you'll get that's not appropriate for LinkedIn. And I don't think there's anything that's not appropriate for LinkedIn. I think this is not the LinkedIn of 10 years ago. It's the LinkedIn of today. And it's about community. It's about connecting people. It's about lifting people up. One of the things I'm so passionate about is lifting up other women. And I think that's super important. And I see every day posts by women celebrating other women's successes. I've done them, been the subject of them, and it's really meaningful. It's really forming a community, and it's a wealth of knowledge. We're talking about thought leadership, right? There is so much thought leadership on LinkedIn, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to be on LinkedIn and to learn from the people that are on there and want to share their expertise. And yeah, sure, there's also stuff that you can pay for. A lot of people, that's their livelihood, right? They're coaches, they're trainers. They will definitely give you more information, but you can learn so much just by going there and participating. It's all about engaging. And I always tell people, if you're afraid to post, right? Because the first time I really made a post, I thought I was going to have a heart attack. I was very anxious about it. God, what if nobody likes it? What if people tell me it's dumb? Just comment. There's a lot of magic that happens in the comment section on LinkedIn, and you make a lot of relationships just by commenting on other people's posts, and people will engage with you. They'll comment back to your comment and really form meaningful conversations.
Love all of that so much. It's every once in a while you find someone who gets and has the same passion for something. I have this passion for sure. It's when I think about what will really change things that we don't like, that are systemic challenges. We're seeing a lot of women right now who are so stinking qualified leaving the workforce because the ways that we have done work, where you burn yourself at every possible end until you've got nothing left to burn. Not your health, not quality of life. You finally get to go make your own way. Because a network can do that for you, where all of a sudden you've got the power back. You don't have to ask anyone for permission. You don't have to get the blessing. We used to have to become a thought leader. You'd have to get the blessing of a publisher to go, you've got what it takes. We're going to make you a star. And right now, you and I could sit down and write something. You know, most of what we write, it really is to build relationally, but we could write something that could change the world just by putting thoughts out there. And in a second, they go across the entire globe to create community and to bring people together. And I could not be more excited for what this platform is doing for not just changing the world, but changing ourselves. And we get to see that we have something to say. I think all of us have been told at least once in our life, you have nothing to contribute here. You have nothing to sit down and be quiet. And now you get to go, wait, I spoke. I said something. Okay, no one came to tell me to sit down and be quiet, or even if they did, I had so many other people say, that was amazing. Thank you for saying that. That made my day to read that. And all the good that is like a wave What other ways? Yeah, I was going to say, tell me more what you think.
100%. So I don't want to tell someone else's story, but as you were speaking, I just had this image in my head of someone on LinkedIn, and they're very well known on LinkedIn now. They have, I don't even know how many followers, well over 100,000. And she will always talk about how she started out petrified of posting on LinkedIn and thinking that nobody would care about what she had to say. And she's a single mom, and she's whatever the LinkedIn equivalent of Instagram famous is, she's LinkedIn famous, and she travels internationally now talking about LinkedIn and training people how to leverage it. And this is all possible. And it doesn't have to be a career that's LinkedIn based, right? It's just, we're talking about network before, and there's like that, your network is your net worth. It really is. I will very truthfully say that almost every opportunity I've ever been given or ever got was not through a recruiter or through cold calling. It was from my network. It was from a personal referral. It was from somebody knowing somebody who was looking for somebody who does what I do, and saying, "Oh, I know Melissa. You should talk to Melissa about that." Almost without exception, both in my corporate life and with my consulting projects, it's always word of mouth. I don't have a website for my consulting. It's all through word of mouth. It's all through people that I know. And that's really the power of what this platform can do. And honestly, just the personal validation you feel when you were saying that people give you positive feedback. It's, oh, okay, somebody actually does care about what I have to say. And what I say does resonate with people. And I've gotten the most beautiful DMs that have said, wow, I saw your post about XYZ, and it made me realize I'm not alone in that. I'm not the only one who feels that way. I'm not the only person that's happened to. And that's really powerful, and that's really validating to me. And it also just, it makes you feel good, right? That your words mean something to someone and that they impacted someone in a positive way.
It is incredible to think the world will keep changing. We'll work remotely, we'll work hybrid, we'll do this, we'll do that, but we'll never not be now online. And I hate to add yet another burden onto women. And every human listening to this, we all have way too much on our plates already. But this is your part-time job now for the rest of your life. And it can be some of the most fulfilling thing that you do is building community around you. We don't get much time with our friends in person. We don't get nearly enough personal time where we're just relaxing. But this will bring more fulfillment than you would have ever dreamed it would. And so just start.
Just start is the perfect advice. And I will also say, I've made friends through LinkedIn who I do spend time with in real life, in my personal life.
Amazing.
I truly have. And so it does go both ways, right? It does increase your in real life community as well.
Oh my gosh, that is delightful, Melissa. I've got to try that one day. So as we are getting ready, or as we're doing this podcast, I'm getting ready for a conversation that would be an incredible opportunity. That I only would have come through LinkedIn. So I'm literally brushing my hair and putting it in a ponytail. My kids are here. We live out in the country because we can. We've got a couple of acres. We've got some horses in the backyard. Because I can work remotely and because my network knows what I do and they want me to do it for them. I put myself out there, and all that I do is I go on LinkedIn and I share my big opinions, and I hope that, Melissa, we continue to hear yours and your leadership and your guidance and all those life lessons that you've learned along the way.
Thank you.
It has been an honor to find you and get to know you on LinkedIn through our network, of course, but you are even better of a person than I would have dreamed you are. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind. Thank you.
Yes. Wonderful to have had this conversation with you today. Folks, I hope that you follow this wonderful woman on LinkedIn. Continue to learn from her. She is the type that shares her journey really well. Model what she does You don't have to understand it to start. Definitely don't wait. And thank you so much for joining me on this conversation today.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Julie. It was truly such a pleasure to meet you. You are every bit as wonderful in person, well, in the Zoom version of in person, as I could have imagined. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to How to Thought Leadership with Julie Morris. You can find Julie on LinkedIn and most other social media platforms. If you'd like to talk about how to increase your own influence through thought leadership, you can contact Julie through personateam.com.